It's a warm, early morning in July 1804. Two men, quietly and separately, they rowed from the banks of New York across the glassy, warning waters of the Hudson to the banks of New Jersey, where they climbed to a high, secluded point. They're meeting this morning for what will be a life-changing event for them, and a history-changing event for our country. As they got ready that morning, they got into position, and they approached each other. Perhaps they even shared an obligatory handshake. And although they were disgusted at just the sight of the other, I can't help but wonder if somewhere below that cold, steely exterior, they didn't want to reach out and say, "My God, what are we doing? This is foolishness." But it never happened. Despite that, what they were about to do had recently been made illegal. A powerful and a destructive force, the same one that set that event in motion, it made them follow through. They were there that morning for a pistol duel. And the participants were no obscure men. One was the then Vice President of the United States, Aaron Burr. And the other was one of our founding fathers, Alexander Hamilton. The heinous force that was at work that morning, it neutralizes the greatness of men and women. It is a worldwide epidemic that is no respecter of age, of race, of intelligence, of education, of title, nor position. It's a sickness that to varying degrees all of us have been infected with. Its name is insecurity. It's an effective thief, insecurity is. And that's partly because it's not a loud, brash burglar that rumbles in and announces, "I'm here to destroy you." Mostly, it's just a whisper. Yet it extracts some pretty tall prices. If you begin to wonder at this point, most of my information on this topic, it comes from a test subject that I have. He has been unbelievably faithful with me for 34 years now. He shows up 7 days a week. And it's through my intently observing him and others, I put together a short list of some of the common characteristics that accompany insecurity, and then their counterparts that show up when insecurity is absent. Let's go through some of these and see if you can identify with any of them. Timidity versus humility. Arrogance versus confidence. Now that's an interesting one because you can have insecurity without arrogance, but you cannot have arrogance without insecurity. Arrogance is the scab that grows over the wound of insecurity. Arrogance is insecurity's bodyguard. Brashness versus boldness. Defensiveness versus being challenged. Carrying an offense versus being forgiving. And being scared to try versus being scared to try, but being more scared of mediocrity. Insecurity, if left unchecked, it claims expanding territory. And it can grow powerful enough to kill you. Hamilton had an ingenious mind. As Toastmasters, I think that we would have admired him because history tells us that he was a powerful and persuasive communicator. Regrettably, he was also deeply insecure. He obsessed over his personal image, and he would launch vicious verbal assaults on anyone who criticized him. You see which Aaron Burr had done. The day after their duel, Hamilton died of his injuries. But it shouldn't have been so. Instead of dying at age 47, that remarkable man and the magnificent impact that he had on our young country, it should have continued for another 25, 30 years, had only he chosen to wage the battle, refusing to be dominated by his insecurity. You see, we're all rowing to a duel. We're all en route to tender some dear price to the thief of insecurity, almost on a daily basis. Where might you be being timid, brash, arrogant, defensive, harboring an offense against someone? What are you not even attempting? Not even giving yourself the opportunity to fail in? It's critical to recognize that these are pulling some very high prices from us in your business, your relationships, happiness, and even if it doesn't ultimately result in your death like it did for Mr. Hamilton, insecurity can kill our growth just the same. In fact, it's another founding father, Benjamin Franklin, who summed up that idea when he said, "I knew a man who died at 25, but he was buried at 75. Let me challenge all of us then. The next opportunity that presents itself, don't shrink back. Don't shy away, even if it means accepting discomfort. Battle on. Because the price of this battle is discomfort, but the price of surrender is ineffectiveness. So the next opportunity that presents itself, friends, battle on.